up, what up, what up? This your boy Oshin. This is Oshin's View. You already know I'm in the building. Willie Negro.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
Yes, and be subscribing to Oshin's View because long story short, those are starting to really ring off and everything. So, keep those in mind too. But, sort of pump, hand on the pump. Yo, Redman and Meth just did Summer Jam. And Meth said, this is it. He said he's not going back because he said the generational gap is too wide. And to be clear on what he meant by that, because I got to read off, I want to quote him directly. Okay, first off, this was the lineup. Doja Cat, Offset, Sexy Red, Method Man and Redman, Sleepy Hollow, DeVito, 41, and T Grizzly. Now, I consider myself a hip-hop connoisseur. I actually like Sexy Red's song, that Get It Sexy. Just because of the beat. I ain't gonna lie, the top of my feet, that boom, boom, boom. I like that, for whatever reason. I like it. Everybody knows I have an affinity for bad lyrics. So, that Doja Cat can't tell you what she sings. Offset, he's one of the Migos, so I get that. DeVito, I think that's the
Afro beats.
The Afro beats.
I fuck with DeVito.
Billionaire, whatever the 30 billion on the account, like that's him.
Yeah.
Okay, back. Yeah. So that's him. T Grizzly, I think that's the first day out dude from Detroit. See, I know little son, I'm gonna keep up, but if you put a gun in my head and ask me to quote it, I got to get my affairs in order. This is going down. So Meth and Red is out there. I see the clip. It's Meth and Red.
Yeah.
They legends. I don't even have to get into their resume. It's Meth and Red. But they showed the crowd. The crowd, you can tell the crowd is kind of like, okay, we know they're legends, but this is not the kind of turn up we're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. So Meth then takes to, after it's over, Meth takes to, I want to say this is Twitter. Maybe it's Twitter. No, it looks like Instagram, actually. Not our crowd at all. Thanks again, New York and the whole tri-state that showed up at the event, plus Pete and Ebro. I got love for you guys, but never again. At this point, the generation gap is just too wide for me. Hashtag never coming back. Is that old dude stuff, or is that just, I understand my audience and this crowd is not for me no more?
That is 100% I understand my audience and this is not. It's actually hard. Most people don't really come to that realization. You see what I'm saying? Most people are forced into that realization. You know what I mean? Meth and Red keep getting invited places. You know what I mean? But you gotta go kind of where you want it. You see what I'm saying? It happens to all of us, the best of us. You see what I'm saying? And the generational gap is too wide. See, because when we was kids, we was listening to the same stuff our parents was listening to. You know what I mean? Like they was getting down with some of our stuff. You see what I'm saying? But now the kids, it's just too far gone. You see what I'm saying? And we talking about a 50-year-old man. You see what I'm saying? Like he not young by no stretch. You know what I mean? He doing stuff from the 90s, early 2000s. You see what I'm saying? So, we talking 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So these kids ain't really feeling that. I think it's commendable. I think it's honest. And I think, he did the Roots Picnic the same weekend. I bet you he ain't said that about the Roots Picnic.
Exactly. He'll be, because Nas just was at the Roots Picnic as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Iceman. I'll talk about him later because Nas brought out Ghostface. And he runs with Ghost. But anyway, it's going to get received from the young dudes as this is just old stuff or whatever. And the comment, I'm glad he didn't take a shot at them. He just said the generation gap is too wide. Yeah. And like you said, two things can be true. And it's just like, it's commendable for the fact that he understands that. Because if you think about it, only person with the cheat code is kind of Jay-Z in terms of age, because he's got Beyonce with him. That's his wife. So,
but even him,
listen. Just let me get the thought out. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is cheat code because it's always the threat, or lack of a better word, that he's going to bring out Beyonce with him. Beyonce is like beyond whatever, and so that's
I don't think she is.
Well, no, she's not still considered old because who's above Beyonce in terms of females right now?
What do you mean?
What I'm saying is this: Beyonce is kind of ageless. She's not. There's nobody that has overtaken Beyonce as the queen in terms of that.
No, there's nobody that has overtaken Beyonce as the queen. But it's 20-year-olds right now who like, I don't give a fuck about Beyonce.
Then who? Then okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, if they don't care about Beyonce, who do they care about?
I don't know, because this is the generational gap.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know who the fuck they listening to. They listening to some bullshit. I don't know. I don't get it.
Get it? No, what I'm saying is this. I think you're saying one thing, but I'm saying something else too. My thing is this. The gap for her isn't the gap that it is for Method Man, because she is Beyonce. You see what I'm saying? Like that. And the only way that can start affecting her is if there's a replacement her. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is there's no replacement Beyonce, because these kids are into status. Mm-hmm. They into the social media. They into how big you are. She's still the it woman. You see what I'm saying? Until she gets overtaken.
To us, she is. Listen, yes, she is. She's also not 50 like him. When she's 50, she'll be going through the same thing he's going to. She'll be, I'm not really messing with this. This is not my crowd. The 20-year-olds will not be her crowd when she's 50. Same thing with Barbra Streisand. Same thing with Janet Jackson. Same thing with Mariah Carey. These kids respect who these people are, but that's not they person. And if you put them in front of them, you're going to get a different reaction than if you go in the crowd with the 30, 40, 50-year-olds. You see what I'm saying? And that's all Meth was saying is, this ain't for me no more. Summer Jam is a young man's game. You see what I'm saying?
Rap, period. This is my thing. Ever since Jay said that, and I'm not saying, just because Jay said it doesn't mean nobody else was thinking it and things like that. This is my thing why rap is always...
Jay ain't just popping out at Summer Jam either. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Well, Jay, first off, Jay's not doing Summer Jam. He's because, see, the thing is this, Jay is calculating with everything, calculating with everything he does. He knows what he did with Summer Jam when he had it.
100%. Legend.
He's not going over that. He's not doing that again, because y'all won't even understand what I'm doing. Like, you can't pay Jay. First off, you can't pay him to come on Summer Jam. You don't got enough money.
What I'm saying is,
but he's just not doing it.
What I'm saying is, you wouldn't want to pay him to do it. The kids don't check for Jay-Z.
They don't.
It's done. It's over for Jay-Z with the young kids. He don't make music for the young kids. He barely makes music because it's done. It's a wrap. Our legends are old men. Period. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, that don't mean that they still ain't dope. That don't mean that they can pop out every now and then with a performance that's amazing. But for the kids, they don't listen to music how we listen to music.
The problem is this. This is the thing that I have with hip hop. We're not going to learn until the joint stops, which is not, because it's billions and trillions of dollars industry at this point. What I'm saying is this. Once we started being like, it's a young man's sport, it's been poisoned in our head that it's that, because hip hop will not allow you to grow. Hip hop doesn't, like this, as much as the youth like to talk about evolution and this new, this, that, and the third, hip hop is not allowed to grow. This is why the artists get phased out, because you're not allowed to grow in your personal life and then talk about that in life. You can't do that in hip hop. You can do it in every other genre except for hip hop.
I 100% disagree. I think that as you get old, you become a legend act, a different type of act. You see what I'm saying? The same kids is not coming to see Bon Jovi. You see what I'm saying? But people is coming to see Bon Jovi. You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody, Jay-Z can do a concert. He just can't do it for the kids. I think that where we get stuck in hip hop at is we think hip hop is for the kids. Hip hop is not just for the kids. Those kids don't listen to music like we listen to music, but we still listen to music. You see what I'm saying? So it is a Rock the Bells that you can go and see all of your acts perform. You can go and see, go to the Roots picnic and see some good, talented people perform. It's places where you can go to see. It's a market for everyone.
This is the part that I think when you said you disagree. This is the part that I think you're escaping. When I'm saying it's not allowed to grow is because I got to pick on him. Lil Wayne raps the same as when he was 15, 16, 17. He got a new joint out right now, and I'm looking like, this sounds like when you still was a kid. That's what I mean. Hip hop, you're not allowed to grow up in it. I'm talking about even the young artists. See, they keep talking all this young stuff now because they're actually young. But this is why the artists that are now, look at the 20-year-old artists when we were coming up, and the 20-year-old artists we coming up. Tupac and Biggie died at 24 and 25, respectfully.
Right.
Them dudes felt, they seemed way older than what they are at the time. Now, granted, we were younger than them, but they were a different kind of 24 and 25. We didn't look at them as like, man, they was kids. Now, I think to street dudes and people that was involved with a lot of that stuff that were already older, they might have looked at them as little dudes. But for the most part, it was like they wasn't little kids. But these 25-year-olds now, you like, oh yeah, these 25s are more like 20-year-olds. So what I'm saying is this. The music they're making is the music they're making. But these 25s are turning 30, but yet they're still trying to make music as if they're 25. And this is why the genre is suffering, because this is the only genre that you're not allowed to be like, yo, put it this, you know one of the corniest things I hear? Ice-T, who is like almost 60, if he ain't already 60.
Yeah.
People be like, yo, look at Ice-T. He up here being a cop on TV. I'm like, he is acting now. But you're going to try to judge him and say, this is the same man who made Cop Killer. Yes. But now he is a 60-year-old man, been acting for well over 20 years at this point. Because he been in Fortress, he been in movies. I ain't saying he been in 1,000. What I'm saying is this. People are still being like, how you going to say you Cop Killer?
But when you say you're not allowed to grow in hip-hop, is to say that Ice-T is not hip-hop now. Like, he grew in hip-hop.
No, he did.
Are you crazy? Ice-T is still hip-hop. LL was still hip-hop.
That's not my point. That's not my point.
You sound old as shit.
No.
You just talking about the kids.
No, what I'm saying is this. These same kids that are saying, I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is, if they saying it's old, the whole thing is this. Why do we say it's a young man's sport? Because if it's a young man's sport, tell me the age where it stops. Tell me the age when it stops being young. What's the age are you considered not young anymore? And don't tell me you don't know, because you're baiting on that side. And I'm not asking you to talk for thing. What I'm saying is this, just for the sake of conversation, if we're saying hip hop is a young man's sport, what age is the cutoff age to say you're no longer young?
Okay, I'm not saying hip hop is a young man's sport.
But that's the narrative that's out there.
Because hip hop is young. But now that hip hop is only 50 years old.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But as it ages, it gets older. It expands. Jay-Z is still here. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're talking about hip hop in terms of the genre.
Yes, it's young itself. So you can't say, 60-year-olds can't perform. You gotta let it grow. It's not even 60 years old yet. You see what I'm saying? So the genre, as it gets older, you get acts that's 50. You get somebody that's 48 winning a Grammy. You get things like that that's happening in hip hop that never happened before because it's getting old. Of course, yeah, they're gonna say it's a young man's game when it's 30 years old. Of course. And to answer your question, 30 is the age where you're not considered young anymore. You see, see what I'm saying? So you're not necessarily old, but you're not young anymore when you're 30. You see what I'm saying?
You know what kind of music Jay-Z was putting out at 30? Do you know what kind of music Nas was putting out at 30?
Yes.
I think Kiss got better the older he got.
Yes.
And he was already nice. See what I'm saying? Like that. What I'm saying is this. It's not to detract. What I'm saying is when these kids make these statements, they know, this is the killer part to me. You just said something. You're a kid right now, you're 25, and you're saying hip-hop is a young man's sport. According to what you just said, it's your example. So basically, you're telling me, Shorty, you only got 4 years left. You only got 4 years left because then you one of the old dudes. In hip-hop, generally, what's a run in hip-hop? What's a successful run?
A successful run in hip-hop? Successful run is 3 years. That's a successful run.
Album each year. Album each year. Album each year.
Yeah. Three albums is a successful run. If you had 3 decent albums, you still relevant after 3 albums, then you had a good career.
I don't like the term relevant. I don't like the term relevant because it's relative. You see it like that. That's the crazy part because I keep reading about how well Tech Nine, not the one that passed away from Philly, the other one.
I know.
Him and Chameleon, how well they're doing without whatever. And I'm not dogging them.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is they're doing well from what I'm hearing and financially, and they have a market.
Yes.
They be overseas and everything else. So it's like they're running in their mind. Tariq, the Roots, I thought he's having a different kind of run because we know that Black Thought has been nice forever.
Right.
But it's like he, to me, has only started getting his flowers within the last 10 years.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Is that
outside
fair to
of
say?
Philly, yes.
Outside of Philly, he's been, you know what I'm saying, like that. I've been knowing he was nice. So that's why when people throw him in, I know why people throw him in their top, and I also know why people don't throw him in it. And I don't throw him in my top, and it has nothing to do with his abilities. It's just, I know what class you're from. And it's not that you weren't better rappers than them. It's just they came out with albums. He's just lacking solo albums. Like, the way, this is what I mean, the way they put Andre 3000 up there, I believe Black Thought will wrap circles around Stacks.
We're not going to get into Black Thought, and we're not going to get into the Roots.
I'm
that's
just
Philly.
saying. That's the only reason why I don't have him in my top
I'm just
10,
saying,
because
in those Roots albums, he was the rapper.
Yeah, but
come on, let's be real.
No, but I need a Black Thought album.
They are Black Thought albums.
No, it's not. No, that's not. It's the Roots.
They are Black Thought albums. It doesn't. He was the one that rapped.
I'm gonna tell you why he doesn't get that fully for me. Because what's the drummer's name? Questlove?
Questlove.
I think of Questlove when I think of the Roots. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. That's the first person I think of when I think of the Roots. I think Questlove. And he's not a rapper, but that's who I think. So I can't say that's just a Black Thought album. This is not Gangstar. This is not Gangstar. That's what you're trying to do. This is not Gangstar. Primo and Guru.
Yes, it is. It is exactly that.
No, it's not.
It is exactly that.
Because you don't think Primo when you think Gangstar. You think Guru first, then Primo.
I think Black Thought first because I am actually a Roots fan and listen to the albums. And when I say the words, they are Black Thought's words for the most part.
You go on technicality.
No, I'm not. He's the one rapping.
That's it, though. But that's not who I think of.
Jay-Z is the one rapping on his albums. He ain't making the beats at all.
That's why we don't talk about nobody else. We don't talk about the producers. We talk about Jay-Z because it's him only. That's it. He's a solo artist.
So
I don't see Black Thought as a solo artist.
I just said we ain't talking about it. All right.
Second thought, that nigga ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going with. Change my mind.
Nah, but Meth is right. He need to go to places where he going to be received well, and it makes the performance well because we know what that performance did. We know what Red and Meth did. You know what I mean? That's from our era, our generation.
Yes. Okay, I'm about to play this clip. Hold up.
Also own a moving company.
Hold up. Let me bring it back.
I'm a personal trainer, and I also own a moving company. Moving company, okay?
I didn't pop my balloon because I kind of wanted to know more about you too. So you mentioned something about like building together or growing together. I don't know if that means you wanted to go 50-50 or...
If you want to work, you can work.
Okay.
And I want to take care of home. That's just how I was raised.
How much do you make a year?
75 to 95, depending.
I'm just gonna pop my balloon because I just feel like that's not enough for me. But I feel like everything else was good.
So, 75 to 95,000 a year is not good enough.
It's just I was looking for something different.
Okay, what are you looking for as far as income wise?
I thought it was gonna be like 100,000 and more because he owns his own company, right?
I've been owning my own business for about 3 years. It's been 110, then it's been 95, and it's also been 75. So, it fluctuates.
All right, thank you.
All right, okay. Let's come back.
Oh, it's a lot to unpack with that. First off, she looked all right too. She looked all right, but who cares? There's a lot of chicks out here that look good. Whatever. Mm-hmm. She said a few things that I was like, you dodged the bullet, brother.
Yes.
First off, let's go to the fact of when she said, I ain't gonna say I don't know if you heard, but did you hear the part where she said, you're talking about building together what you want? I don't understand that. You want to go 50-50? Where did she get building together meant we're going 50-50? Like, to me, that's what made her bird gang to me just now. Because if the man is saying, I want somebody I can build with, but all you take from that is we're paying bills 50-50, that's a red flag right there. Then the man said, I make between $75,000 to $95,000. I got my own business. So then she says, well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop my balloon because I thought that since you own your own business, you would make at least 100,000 or more. He said, he then returns and says, I had my own business for 3 years. Mm-hmm. He said 110,000. He never said when either.
Yeah.
He just said 110,000, 95, and 75. Mm-hmm. Now I gotta believe the 75 was the first year. And I gotta believe the 95 was the second and the 110. I'm gonna give him that bell because I don't believe he started the business, popped off making 110 and then dropped. So I'm gonna give him the leeway for that. But it really doesn't matter. Because the point of the matter is this. That's why when the other gentleman that was doing an interview said, so 95,000 isn't enough for you, she said 100. So you're gonna stop you don't want to mess with this dude because he told you he's $5,000 away from making six figures. And this is what you want to do. So she popped a balloon and the other chicks that was standing there, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I only have one thing to say about that. Fellas, this is why you keep the lie alive. Straight up and down. Because these chicks don't be knowing what they want, but then be acting like, yo, you have to be on this certain level. They don't even understand that level.
I think she did know what she wanted. I do. I think she knew what she wanted. And what she wanted is somebody to take care of her. And if she wanted somebody to take care of her, I think she was 100% right. 100,000 ain't enough. 95 ain't enough. 75 ain't enough. I think he was tripping. He said, what you want to go 50-50? He said, if
he never said go 50-50. That was her that said.
She asked him that, and she said, you can work if you want to. Nah. If I make 75 to 95, you got to work. How we going to live? You got to work. You ain't going. You got to contribute. I'm sorry. That's me. That's how I feel because it's 2024 and mortgages is at least $2,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's on the low end. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you gonna have to contribute. Now, she didn't want to contribute, so she popped her balloon. More power to her. Good luck. Yes. Do I think she's bird gang? Yes. I think a lot of women are lazy and they don't want to contribute. And I don't want somebody that's lazy and don't want to contribute. Even if I have the means to take care of you, I want you to at least want to contribute something to this relationship, even if it's not monetarily. And when you show me that you're looking for everything that I can do for you and you're not showing me anything that you can do for me, then like you said, I think that man dodged the bullet. You know what I mean? But on the same token, if she's looking for somebody with some bread, you're not looking for somebody to make $100,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like
because first off, $100,000 a year, you ain't bringing home $100,000.
Right.
That's for one. Like it's all. You know what 100,000 is? It sounds cute and it sounds great when you first get it.
Yeah.
And I'm only saying that because I'm there.
100,000,
But
in
I'm just
2024 is the I got some money starter kit. You know, that's the beginning. That's when you can go out and buy something and be comfortable. You know what I mean? But it ain't the my woman don't gotta work type of money.
It could be my woman could work with that type of money. I don't know where you're going to be living at particularly. You
Facts.
might not have that $2,000 on the low end house that you're talking about.
Yes.
Now, if you want to, tote the line, you can do some things with it. But the point is this. Dudes particularly I ain't going to say don't want a woman that doesn't have ambition and want to make money and stuff. But the whole thing is this. This is my thing. A woman is dangerous with idle time and no hobbies. And they don't do anything. Because they just get into dumb stuff. And when they don't have time, then they all in your face. It's all like, do something. Guys, I think when guys be talking a lot of times about, I think when he said, and I'm just using him as a small example, well, if you want to work, you know what you want to work means to me from what he was saying? Look here, you don't want to be in the house forever. So if you want to go out and have something to do, then fine, go ahead and do it. But if you talk about me just paying these bills and stuff, all right, fine, I can take care of home. I will take care of the bills and stuff like that. But the whole thing is this, and women don't get this. Demanding the guy to take care of all the bills ain't the same as letting the guy do it. You know what that kind of line is? If you out at the spot and a woman is coaxing you to get her a drink. You would never get a drink out of me if you try to, like I done had, when I was really out there, I done had chicks do all kind of stuff trying to hit their way to the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think one time I was out, this chick, we was dancing, we having a good time. Benjamin's is playing, that's right, I'm still rocking with Puff. Bang, 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 we rocking out, we dancing for about 3 songs. She was like this. I thought it was something wrong. I thought it was like something to itch. She kept like rubbing her neck. Like talking about like, yo, you about to go to the bar? And so when she was doing it, so I go back, I'm like, nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking this is what we doing. I was like, she rubbed her neck. I didn't know that was signal for, it was like she was like club signing. Like the club sign for I want a drink must be to rub your throat or something. Because I was like, oh, so you're not even gonna let me offer. You're not even gonna let me be the gentleman that I automatically am. So guess what? Bartender, give me one water for me, please. Like that, and keep it moving. It's the same thing with women. Are you one of those guys that like to go 50-50? Not really, but since you talking like that, you know what? I do like 50-50 now. Because dudes, the same way a lot of women have gone on terrible dates, dudes have been used for some bread. And same way how they look for red flags, the way they look for red flags, we look for red flags too. And a lot of times those red flags come up. The difference is, are we willing to deal with the red flag before we take them to Pound Town? Because that's where a lot of it boils down to.
It don't even make sense. Like, it's not even like logical. So you going, a guy that you may be attracted to, you want to get to know, you're going to turn down his advances or not deal with him because he wants to go 50-50 so you can continue to pay 100% of your expenses. Like, that's so weird to me. That don't even make sense to me. And like you said, like if y'all could start off 50-50, what if he got ambition and he hit something? You know what I mean? He hit a lick and now you don't have to go 50-50. Now you was in it with him in the trenches and now he good. You know what I mean? Chicks like that is crazy.
You know what the thing with the trenches, so to speak. Women claim they was already in the trenches with another dude before. You're not in the trenches if you're with a dude. Ladies, let me tell you this. This whole ride or die thing, ride or die doesn't mean you went to work every day, you had your car, he drove your car, he didn't work, he kept talking about things he wanted to do, and you kept holding him down because he had potential. And I don't even see how you saw the potential.
Potential is crazy.
He didn't even show you anything. And you rolled that out for 5 years. And now you're so turned off with guys that have ambition because they got to be finished products because I was a ride or die before. No, you were just a die because that dude wasn't doing nothing. He was gaming the entire time. I know it hurts, but he was gaming the entire time because ambition, like I always say, ambition ain't nothing but a fancy word for trying. That's all it is. Now, the difference is this. It's what you look at. So does this ambition have it connected to how handsome the dude was? Was he slinging the Clint Eastwood? You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that probably played a part.
It's like my man on Insecure. Like when Issa left him, he wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? And she was feeling the same way. You're not getting yourself together. You got all these dreams and you ain't doing nothing. And as soon as he left, he hit it. Got it. You know what I mean? And eventually she was feeling dumb. He was wild successful. You know what I mean? She was feeling stupid and she wanted to end up with him. But, you know, that's how it is, man. That's how it be sometimes.
Curved after that? Because I'm not up on it.
Yeah, they wasn't together. He loved her. They loved each other. But it was too much after that. You know what I mean? Most dudes, it's too much. When she broke up with him because she said he wasn't doing nothing with his life. Then he started doing something with his life. And to me, it felt like she wanted him back after that. I was trash.
You know what's crazy? There's different levels of infidelity and what women will deal with. You have marriage. I'm not gonna say infidelity because that's adultery. You know, whatever however you want to cut it. But let's just use the infidelity thing for the sake. Marriage infidelity and girlfriend infidelity. There are women that will deal with you if you're married. But it seemed like it's some type of honor code that women, if you're married, I can't mess with you because you're married. But if somebody just had a girlfriend, you'll mess with them. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Like chicks will curve a dude and be like, oh, I would mess with you, but you're married. If she was just your girlfriend, I would just mess with you.
Yes.
So in their mind, that's a moral high road that they're taking in their mind.
Yes, I think it's disguised as a moral high road.
Yes, okay, yes.
It's disguised as a moral high road because what all it really means is that one day I want to get married and I don't want to get cheated on. You see what I'm saying? So what they see is the idea of marriage, because most women are infatuated with the idea of marriage. You see what I'm saying? So the idea of their fairy tale wedding or marriage, fairy tale marriage, does not have infidelity in it. But it's the same principles if you sleep with a man who has a girlfriend.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. I know why it's like that. It's like that because when a guy's married and you mess with him, it's going to be harder to get him away from his wife than it is to get him away from his girlfriend. Like, dudes aren't just leaving their wife willy-nilly. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? It's not just happening like that. Now, they'll tell you that. Oh, yeah, we going to leave. We ain't together. They'll tell you all that stuff because it's orgasms. So they going to get it. But as a woman, you looking like, I could take him away from a girlfriend. A wife, it's going to be a little tough. Now, some chicks are up for the challenge. We know this. And they just going to go at it how they feel they need to go at it. But it's like you said, it's disguised as moral high road, but it's not. You still smutting around doing things or whatever. You just don't want to go the paper route against, like you don't want to go against the gangster of that marriage license and see what you can do against that. Because you know what guys straight lean into, oh, you knew I was married. You knew this, because you can't just be like, oh, me and her just breaking up. You know what I'm saying? It's legally binding. So it's things that go into that or whatever. So I just wanted to get that off my chest because I've seen a few people, you know, talk about certain things like that and they be like, whatever. But this was wild. The chick, she's 28 years old. Her boyfriend is 30. They've been together for 3 years. She says her boyfriend has an average size penis and she never had any complaints about their sex life. He's great in bed. I've always been more than satisfied with our intimate moments. But then she says she has two best friends who are well, what you call size queens. They've always been vocal about their preference for men with above average penis sizes. Long story short, he was talking about, they were all out at dinner, and he was talking about, I think, a ring size that he's supposed to get for her. And the friends made a comment like, well, you better get the biggest ring you can to make up for that small Johnson.
Because she was talking about his penis size to her friends, which she says is a normal occurrence amongst women. They talk about their sex lives to each other, which I think is crazy, but we don't have a woman here to debate that. So
I don't think that's crazy. I'm going to tell you why I don't think it's crazy. Because we do it. The difference is this.
Oh, no, we don't. Not with our girl. Not with our girlfriend. With a chick that we messing with.
Okay.
Yes.
Correction.
But our girl,
Correction.
no, we not like yo, she gave me the craziest, and
You're
we
right.
was
Okay.
no, we don't do that. Oh man, when it was so, we don't do that with our girlfriend. If she'd have jumped, then hey man, that it got
You get the whole story.
crazy. You get the whole story, like because we don't care. But when you we don't see her as the one. You see what I'm saying? When you see a girl as the one, you're not going to give up all the information on her. You just don't talk about that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So I find it weird when women talk about their men, their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband to other women.
I'm going to tell you why I think they do it. I'm going to tell you why I think. And I'm only saying think because, like you said, we don't have a woman here. Women be feeling that they have to justify why they're with somebody. So maybe that's one of the things. Like, oh, girl, I told you the story about my ex. I was like, yo. She said, oh, this is the best boyfriend I've ever had. Which, first off, I hate the sensationalism of best ever. Like, I just hate that sensationalism when it comes around. She basically was like, yo, he's the best thing I've ever had. And I guess the 10 inches don't hurt either. Look here. We have talked about it. Ladies, I know I'm attractive. I know y'all look at me, you see the waves spinning. But if you're looking for 10, I ain't got it. So I'm saying, you can be satisfied, but if 10 is your benchmark, keep walking. Do not let me waste your time. So I say all that to say this. If you comfortable with your boyfriend, you gonna let these chicks just talk about, but then she got mad because she was puzzled because the boyfriend was upset. First off.
Oh yeah, because when they was at dinner and then they said he wanted to get her a smaller ring because of money. And they made a joke and said, well, you need to get her a bigger ring to compensate for your lack of endowment. And they all laughed, even his girl. And he thought that was crazy.
Now, it's crazy because you're born with what you're born with.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, guys, I keep hearing about these surgeries, but I don't know nobody personally that had one.
Nah.
As a matter of fact, correction, I think I know one. But
that's outrageous.
No, yeah. I think he had a penis pump.
Hey, yo.
No, I'm just saying.
What is going on?
No, that's the thing. And I know my people that know who I'm talking about. They're gonna be dying on this episode.
Hey, yo.
Because the word is the nigga got a penis pump. Because he smashed a chick that we knew, and she told us, she was like, yo, you know how big this nigga enjoyed this? We was like, word? And then that's when we was like, we gotta put two and two together because there was a summer he was walking around telling people, he's like, yo, I got the penis pump. Now, we started killing him because him and another dude, we was like, so y'all niggas is sharing penis pumps? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey,
yo, you think I'm making a joke. It's funny. The situation is funny, but it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, these were conversations that were had.
Oh, so my goodness.
We'll talk about it off camera. But anyway, I say all that to say, she has no respect for him. All this, yo, I'm satisfied because she's supposed to check him, but she should have never said nothing from the beginning. Me personally, like I said, it's not a girlfriend thing, and it could be. Chicks, I've benefited from word of mouth. through my
100%.
I've definitely benefited from, oh, girl, you need to get a piece of that. And the chick will actually come back and tell me, like, yeah, did you ever sleep with such and such? And at first I'm like, wow. She's like, nah, it's cool. You know, because I told her, you know, how you be. Oh, no wonder she wanted to get right to it. So that happened a few times. So my ego went through the roof with that. But like, yeah, I guess little man is hanging in there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, word of mouth could work for you
or
could
against
work
you.
against you.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's work. First of all, I don't want to say I was working against him because that's his girlfriend. She says she's satisfied. And you know, let me tell you something about these chicks that be talking that I like dudes. You know what I'm saying? With the role, well, you know what I'm saying, whatever, but the mo controls and all that.
Hey, yo.
Let me tell you something. Tell you something about them chicks. I done ran into more than a few of them in my time. And guys that really get it in, or just guys, period, you beef had sex. Yo, on first entry, you up there talking like you gotta be Long John Silver, and you know where you at, and you start doing your thing, and she all screaming all crazy. I've been literally hitting it, and my face is like, this chick talking all this junk. I know I ain't such. Like, what is all this screaming for? I didn't even do no move. Like, but they talk that junk like, oh, you gotta have this. You be like, chick hit me with that before. She was like, yo, she was like, I need a guy with this. You know what I did? I took her two hands and pushed them right in. Like, nah, you better come up in here. Like, you better get realistic with what you doing and stuff. So, ladies, if you're gonna be bashing your man, then just break up with him. Have some decency and break up with him.
Do you think because it said that he was thinking about ending a relationship? Do you think that's worth ending the relationship over?
It's a conversation, at least at first. I do kind of believe you can break up behind it. I'm gonna tell you why. There's a conversation that has to be had first, and you started it off when you said we don't talk about that with our man. So she's gonna have to explain to me, if I'm that to you, why would you even discuss that with them?
Exactly.
So she's not gonna be able to explain why. She's gonna probably hit him with the, well, those are my friends. No. See, your girlfriend is reading how her friends that are the size queens, they're talking about these dudes because they don't go out with none of them. They just getting ran through. So you talking to chicks that's just steadily getting ran through because you're not calling them size queens because they deal with one dude that just so happens to be well endowed. You see what I'm saying? Think about it. You only talking about messing with dudes. So if you doing all this, if you running into all these porno type dudes, what that mean? Your homegirls is getting ran through.
Porno type chick.
By porno type chicks is getting ran through by porno type dudes. That's why they talking to you so easily about their expenditures and everything like that. So I'm like, yo, she's gonna have to explain that. She can't. Now, if you have a forgiving heart, but the whole thing is this, I can't really hang out with your friends now. Like, we can't be around. It's issues now.
Right.
It's deeper than just, like this. I know women are going to be looking at this and saying, oh, that's just weak. No, because if these chicks are still your friends, they've already disrespected me. They know what it is.
Right.
So now, how do I calmly be around them? Because now I'm self-conscious. I don't even hardly want to talk. Because now these chicks say something crazy. Now I'm going off.
Hey.
You know?
You got to bone one of them. You got
to. Yes,
to.
that's good. Yes, you actually got to smack one down. Or at least get head bottom. See, that's my thing. That's my old trick. Chick talk too much, make it give you head. Like, it's kind of hard for you to talk with my nuts in your mouth. You see what I'm saying? Like that. They keep a secret. Chicks they just not out here arbitrarily saying, yeah, I ain't want to mess with them, but I topped them off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, watch your mouth.
On another note, speaking of leaving somebody, so I was talking the other day, and it was a story that came up about a guy. Chick was mad at him because he wouldn't propose or something. So they were together for 3 years, and he proposed, and she said she wasn't ready. So then they stayed together, And then after 10 years, she was mad because he didn't want to propose again. And I said, how you supposed to get 2 proposals from the same guy? I said, that's a little crazy. You said no the first time. Because I'm not ready is a no. You see what I'm saying? And then I went further to say, I don't think if you've been with somebody for 3 years and you propose to them, to me, if they say no, it's over. Like the relationship is over. That's how I felt. But people disagree with me. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
First off, when you're younger, in your early 20s, because people get married early, I can see that I'm not ready thing not being a deal breaker at that age. I can see that. From 20 to 25, I can see that. The difference is this. We're older now. How many times have we heard dudes that were messing with a chick for a hard 9 months and then they propose?
Yeah.
Because the older you get, the more defined relationships
Exactly.
and intention becomes. You understand what I'm saying? When you're in your 20 to 25, I don't even think you fully understand what being intentional means. Like, I don't even think you want to even understand what that means.
Right.
So I agree with that because depending on how old they were, if you're 3 years in, you know, from 35 to 40, 35 to 38, you know if you would marry this dude or not.
Right.
You know if you would marry him. You know if he would be somebody that you would even want to marry.
My thing is this, and my point was, if someone proposes to you, that doesn't mean that you get married tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? That just means I went out, I bought you a ring, I want you to be the person that I marry. Do you want to marry me? If you're not ready to be married, that's one thing. You see what I'm saying? But am I the one that you're going to be married to is the other. And I just think after 3 years, if a man proposes to you, you don't get another one. Like, you know, sorry.
Yeah, I'm this is bad because I'm really sitting there trying to give you some kickback. Yeah. I don't dudes ain't proposing. They're not proposing twice.
Right.
Like that first no is a stinger. Because outside of the ego being bruised, let's put that to the side for a second. You're not ready. I'm ready. I see in you what I want.
Right. And I think the main part is the 3 years.
You don't see, and it's 3 years.
Exactly.
You don't see in me. You don't want to tell me, so you hide by saying, I'm not ready. No, you're ready. You don't see me as a husband that you would want to marry. And that's okay. I may be hurt behind it, but that's the real reason.
Right.
Because it's 3 years. Now, like I said, unless you tell me they are 20 to 23, I'll give it leeway. But if they in their mid-30s, approaching 40, yeah, you know.
Even at 23, we got to break up. Even at 23. Because now, what that tells me is we got to go out and explore the world. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to be out of this thing. If we not, if after 3 years, because men propose to women. I don't believe in the other way around.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So after 3 years as a man, if I feel like I'm ready, you know what I mean? Like to propose, I may not even be ready to get married. Listen, but I know you the one. You the one. We can be engaged for 2 or 3, 4 years, but you are the one. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you that when you say no, what you're telling me is I'm not the one.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So even at 23, if I'm not the one, I need to go outside. I need to be outside.
This is the thing about, this is why you brought up a good point in a roundabout way. This is my thing about that. When people try to, can you say people? Because I don't think men do it like that. Women do it. You can't plan your life. All the great things you want to do in your life, you want to get your degree, then you want to get your master's, you might even want to get your doctorate. That's just on the school level. You want to get into your career, you've been up and running, you've been climbing the corporate ladder or any ladder you have to climb, whatever. I want to get married at this age. Stop right there. Because that's not how life works. This is where women always shoot themselves in the foot. Because just because you've hit these strides and these marks. You think some dude is just sitting around being like, oh, no, let me just wait, because she's accomplished everything she wants to accomplish. She's just waiting for me. I have a 10-inch pipe. I make $250,000 a year. I have no desire to want to step outside anything. I'm just going to wait right here until she's done with checking off all of her boxes.
Until she turns 29 when she's supposed to get married.
And then she's supposed to get married, and I'm going to pop up and say, here I am, Mr. Perfect. I've been sitting here waiting for you. And that's the problem. Now, sarcasm aside, this is how a lot of women think. And I tell women all the time, when they telling me about their ambition and the things they want to do, I agree with them. I say, yo, you can do all that, but you're going to have to take that man off that list, because you're not going to be able to just walk out and get it. I think in their minds, they believe that Build a Dude is around. And this is 2024. It's all kind of splicing going on and all kind of things. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 5-10 years? You ladies, you might actually be able to build a dude. But as for right now, it ain't happening. So when you plan in your life, plan it to the T, but do not include a man, because that's going to have to come from up above. That's how that one works. This dude. So this was another joint I wanted to talk about, because I had a few more things on my plate that I wanted to get to. Feminine energy doesn't depend on a man's energy fully. I'll tell you why I want to talk about that. Let me break down why I put it in the chat like that. I hear women a lot say, I'm looking for the man that allowed me to live in my feminine energy. But then when they talk about said feminine energy, they're talking about paying the bills, taking them on these extravagant trips, buying them this, that, and the third. Pretty much it all sounds financial to me. And then was like, well, I'm just get to be the soft space where he lands. The soft space where he lands, it is 6 billion people on the planet. It's about 4.5 billion women. He can find another soft spot to land if he's doing all this. But this theory that only a man can unlock the feminine energy in the woman, I think that's BS. I call cap on it. I call cap on it. Shut up and down.
I think when I hear that, you see what I'm saying? When you want to live a soft life, you want to be in your feminine energy and all that. What I hear is not what they hear. So what I hear is, I'm looking for a man that's willing to take all of the burdens off of me so I can submit to him. That's what I hear.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So what meaning, if I take all of these burdens, I'm such an alpha. I can take all of that. I can lead you, and you will fully submit to me and let me lead you.
So let me ask you a question for this. And you probably can't answer it so much because you're not a woman. What is it that women are willing to submit, and what does it take for them to submit?
I do.
If you think you can answer that.
I believe that a lot of women, I think the idea is that if I can lead, if I have a masculine energy, and that I can take control, like come here, I'll take your burdens away, I'll take the bills, I got that, I'll make the decisions, I'll take all of this, all that. You don't have to worry about nothing. You live a soft life. That's the idea of a soft life. I'm taking the burdens away from you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So now you can fully submit to me. So the idea is, I cannot fully submit if I still have these burdens on me. If I still need to go out here and get it, I need to pay bills, I need to do this. If you take all of that away, then I can fully submit. Whatever you need, I can give to you.
This is the thing. I'm not a fan of the word submit. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm not a fan of it. It's not that I don't agree with it, but I'm not a fan of the ideal behind this is how I'll submit. because there's extremes on each side.
Right.
You don't want to make decisions at all. Let my man make all the decisions. There are men out here that don't even let you get a word in edgewise at all. I'm talking about you don't get to make any decisions. We put this. I'm talking now from the extreme part because there are extremists out here. We're not talking about him paying the bills and making decisions in the household and things like that. Well, that's light. He'll do that. We talking about the hell you got on your feet. The hell are you wearing? Where you going with your hair like that? It's dudes out there that control women, every fiber of them.
Right.
Whatsoever. So I say all that to say, when women be asking for that, I'm like, careful what you ask for, because you can run into a dude that's going to give you that financial piece and all that stuff, but he's talking about, yo, you can't do anything unless I do it like that. I'm talking about, and then those dudes, those controlling, now that's a control mechanism, but these are dudes that are controlling. Because my thing is this, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I'm not trying to talk about her ex-husband, he's deceased.
Yes.
So it's not so much, I'm not going to disrespect him, but it's just the situation that they were in. She said he didn't like making any decisions at all. She said he would always bounce him back to her. Well, what do you want to do? Whatever you say is cool. So she said that was already hovering over her. So then she said when she started making the decisions, he started being like, I don't feel like you give me a chance to make any decisions. And I was like, I can't agree with him with that, because you can't relinquish power and then want it back when it's convenient. Women, a lot of times, making decisions, forget women, I don't want to say women. What people don't get about decision making is this. Decision making ain't about the success. Decision making is about the failure and how you're going to handle the failure. Because, like we always talk about, when it's a team, everybody shares in the championship. But when that team loses, the leader of that team takes he takes the hit, or she takes the hit, or whatever.
Yes.
So this is the whole thing, though. When I don't believe women can lead themselves. Women, that's why they say when a woman wants to save money, she'll get a roommate. But when a woman is living with a man, she's looking for the next level to go up. She ain't just trying to save money and she's with you, she ain't in there just to save money. Because she want to save money, she'll just get a female roommate or a Gary Apple Yellow roommate, and that'll be that. People get confused. There's two things people get confused, and I want to get this off my chest and stay on top. People get confused about what leadership is, because people assume, and we talk about this all the time, people assume it's following and it's leading. People assume if you're not one, that automatically makes you the other. And that's not the case. People believe, well, if I'm not a follower, that must mean I'm a leader. But then when you ask them to follow, you follow up the question with, well, who do you lead? Well, I lead myself. You're not a leader, you're an individual. That's the one part. And the other part is people believe that if they can make a decision that wins for everybody, I'll make that decision. But when it's time to make the decision and it goes kind of left, because making a decision for yourself is one thing. It's when you have to make a decision for somebody else, and that person might really take an L or be in harm's way because of a bad decision you made. How are you able to handle it? That's what makes you the leader. That's what makes you the leader. Not the, well, I don't know, I really ain't even want to make the decision. And I think a lot of relationships suffer because of that right there.
Well, I just think that, it's not really a leadership is not done in isolation. You see, decisions are not made in isolation. So when you have a man that's willing to take the lead on things, that's willing to be the leader in the relationship, that doesn't mean that he doesn't ask for your input. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that he doesn't say, hey, what you want to do? You see what I'm saying? Because when I say take the burdens away, you're taking that away. Like, you're taking that away too. You create a burden if you just gonna overpower somebody. You see what I'm saying? But what happens is you get a person that you can always go to make that decision, to take the lead. Now, what happens is when you let that person lead, what he'll do is say, hey, what do you think? And then ultimately he'll make a decision because he needs to know how you feel about things. You see what I'm saying? Because that matters to him. How you feel about the way things are going, how we do things matters. But it's also my job as a man to keep you out of harm's way, to make sure that we keep a roof over our head, to make sure that you have some of the things that you want in life. You see what I'm saying? That's my job. And the way you lead is that I always tell women, including my wife, that listen, if somebody come in here in this house is filthy, dishes everywhere and everything, they're gonna look at my wife and say, ma'am, what's you all right? What's going on? What if they take the house? They gonna look at me.
Yes.
If they take the house, it's gonna be, sir, how you let them take the house? You see what I'm saying? That's kind of the dynamic of it. You see what I'm saying? She takes care of the home. I make sure we have a home. You see what I'm saying? And everything in between, we discuss.
It can be discussed. Yeah.
And ultimately, a decision is made. You see what I'm saying? But I think that so when women talk about living a soft life, it's just a burden of all the responsibilities taken off of them. And I do think that it makes it easier for a woman to submit to a man if he can release her burdens. And I don't mean dominate her, but release her burdens. Like it's kind of hard to make all of these. It's a burden to make all the decisions, to have the last say and everything. Because like you said, you the star of the team. Like if y'all fail, it's you. You don't win the championship. Hey man, LeBron don't win. LeBron, what's up? You see what I'm saying? They not like, yo, the Lakers really lost. Yo, Bron, what's up? You see what I'm saying? Mike, what's up? You see what I'm saying? So yeah. But when you take on that burden, then you can really lead you to somewhere great. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this has been another episode of Ocean's View. Click and subscribe on the link when you see it. Long story short, we about to drop a few more of those because we definitely had a few more hot topics that we wanted to tackle. So we're going to get there. We're going to keep bringing it through. And watch out for that merchandise that's coming soon, too. Ocean's View. We out of here.
Peace.